Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Mission Matters. My name is Adam Torres, and if you'd like to apply to be a guest on the show, just head on over to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to apply. All right, so today I have Mathew Augustine on the line, and he's CEO of Workforce Junction. Mathew, welcome to the show.
Hi, Adam. Thanks. Great to be here.
All right, Mathew. So big topic today. I know we're heading towards the end of the year, open enrollment, a lot of benefits brokers out there, benefits advisors, and even small business owners that are thinking, what do they do next? So our topic today, really what it looks like to outsource to scale an employee benefits firm. So how do we, and employee benefits is always a hot topic. So excited to get into this with you. But before we do, let's start this show the way we do them all with our Mission Matters Minute. So Mathew, we at Mission Matters, we amplify stories for entrepreneurs, executives, and experts. That's our mission here. Mathew, what mission matters to you?
Adam, the mission that matters to me really is to give the small to mid-sized employers the edge that they need to outcompete big business for top talent. That's the first part of it. And the second part of it is to empower the employee benefits advisors to profitably serve these small to mid-sized employers and grow their business. And it matters because we believe that these people who own and work for small to mid-sized businesses deserve the same benefit and advantages available to big business. I mean, they are the backbone of our economy and in the engine driving our culture. And through my own deep experience, I know that the benefit advisors who serve them are very critical to their own, to this segment's success. So that's our mission and why it matters.
I mean, definitely well said, and our heart goes out to them. As a small business owner myself, I mean, I grew up in a household with my dad owned a small business, so benefits are a big deal, and you want your employees to have the best, and you want to make sure that you can do what you can do as a small business to also compete, right, for talent and benefits and things like that. Like, it's definitely a competitive job marketplace, so retention, all these things play into benefits. So it's such a complex but yet vital component of the workforce, in my opinion, experience in general. So we'll go further into that. But before we do, let's go further into your background. Like, how did you get started on this path to the benefits world and the benefits market?
Yeah, that's got to this is also quite crazy. But then the last part of it, I came to America working for a global business as part of the technology outsourcing boom of the early 90s. Yeah. And I would say a series of fortuitous circumstances led me to become a partner in an employee benefits advisory firm. I was a client of theirs to start with.
Oh, really?
And trying to build a business there, and through a network of some really fantastic owners of other benefit advisory firms, I was introduced to this small to mid-sized business segment in America. And I gained an appreciation of the challenges of these business owners face, and especially in the area of employee benefits, as you just referred to. And these are people who work very hard to serve their clients well, run a good business. Yeah. And then I was in the Bay Area and the Silicon Valley, sitting there and seeing all the technology, stuff going on. I was really not so motivated by the typical entrepreneurial journey of the tech startups. However, I did see the promise of technology enabling the very high-touch, relationship-driven employee benefits business. That's what got me into this, because within that advisory firm that I was a partner in, I developed a technology capability. But then after a few years, we concluded, my partners and I, that we are better off spinning off the two parts of the business and allowing each one to grow on its own. And so as a result, I founded Workforce Junction, keeping the technology and the administrative capabilities that were built inside that benefits advisory firm, and creating a company which is with a mission of going out and partnering with other benefit advisory firms.
So I find the benefits niche, or that part of our economy, I find it really interesting. And I know there's some people out there, maybe they're a little younger, or maybe just even just younger in their career, and maybe they haven't considered what it looks like to have a career in that benefits niche, if you will. What kind of things would you tell, that new group of workforce that's coming out about exploring a career in this area?
Um, Actually, first of all, I would really go to the core, right? All of us are looking for really authentic relationships
Yeah.
with other human beings. And I think the benefits industry really offers an opportunity to be in there, working with customers, with employees of employers, helping them challenges that they face on an everyday basis. I mean, I find it really leading to very meaningful work.
Yeah, I have to agree. It's definitely meaningful. You have the opportunity to affect many lives for the better and create a lot of
Mhm.
win-win situations and scenarios in the benefits industry. So I have to agree with you on that one. So let's go further into the discussion. So when we think about the idea of outsourcing to scale an employee
Mhm.
benefits firm, I guess the first thing we think about is obviously outsourcing is prevalent in many different industries. Scale, that's what many benefits advisors, benefits brokers are looking to do. Talk a little bit more about kind of the plight of this area between the brokers and what the challenges that they're faced with.
Um, the Okay, so first of all, outsourcing to me means as I said, my background was from a large. Uh, in fact, it was the early days of the offshore outsourcing.
Hmm.
So I know the challenges that we faced at that time, trying to
Yeah.
convince people of the value of it, and now it's become kind of a standard, especially among the larger businesses.
Yeah.
But for small business, it's still not not really mainstream.
Hmm.
So it takes some effort to talk about the value and the benefits coming out
Yeah.
of that. It really goes to the core of the challenge of the small to mid-sized business, which is that of scale. The kind
Hmm.
of challenges, the kind of requirements of that business is, in fact, not any lower or lesser than the biggest of the big businesses.
Yeah.
But these ones, they are not. They are the ones who because of the how small they are, they
Yeah.
don't have the luxury of large, big budget and a lot
Yeah.
of people being able to be deployed for different kind of areas of work. So it's very important then to really focus on core competency that
Hmm.
you want to focus on, and then choose a trusted partner who
Hmm.
could take stuff off of your plate so
Hmm.
that you can focus on what you do best and let us do the rest. That's kind of my advice to the benefit advisors when it comes to looking at outsourcing as an idea.
Yeah, and the thing is, so for the viewers that have been watching this for a long time, watching the show, they'll already know. So I was in financial services industry for a long time, for almost, going on 14 years at the time,
Mhm.
and I had a couple of clients that were actually benefits advisors and benefits brokers, and they had a couple person shop, and as rules change, plans change, other things like that change. They found themselves wanting to scale the business and to do certain things, especially as they wanted to take on bigger plans, and they took on bigger responsibilities, but it doesn't always translate into economic sense, just like any other business, right? To necessarily hire
Right.
more people to fill that, because the additional business doesn't necessarily justify the expense. So
Yeah.
the thought process of outsourcing and all these things, it just made perfect sense to them. And then you have these events that happen where you may possibly be really, really busy. So you like open enrollment, which I'll have you talk
Correct.
about that in a moment. But then what happens is you're trying to manage a workflow of thinking about, we have a lot of work right now we're a little bit slower, what does this look like, how do we justify the expense. So
Yeah.
I know that all the benefit brokers and advisors that are out there looking at this right now are like, how does Adam know? I know what you're going through, because I've seen it, because I had clients that were in your shoes, some that had explored outsourcing, some that had not. But and getting to know Mathew more and just kind of understanding the business, it seems like most benefits brokers and advisors can use some form of outsourcing to enhance their practice. So Mathew, maybe give us a little bit of what's going on with open enrollment and kind of how these workflows change.
So you mentioned something about advisors during this time looking for maybe an opportunity with a larger client, needing to have to increase their capability and capacity. But what I also have seen is some who are actually afraid to go for that bigger, growth. Because they're saying, I don't have enough capability and capacity to go and serve this client. And these are people who have a very high integrity, very high standards in terms of services. I'd rather not go and overpromise to them because I don't have it. Okay, so that's another area where the ability to tap into a partner who can actually scale certain core areas of work, where we are able to scale because of the way we do this as a shared service to our the advisors that we work with, because we can then get scale from that, offering this similar kind of services to multiple customers. The thing that I look at and I feel really bad about, having been in the shoes of the benefit advisor, is when sometimes even not very great creative strategic problem solving opportunities are left. They don't try to go there because of their fear of actually executing the plan well, which may involve some technology. I mean, for example, there are advisors who don't offer employees a way to get additional insurance coverage with some underwriting process involved, just because that involves additional complexity and tracking and administrative and billing issues. Say, okay, let's not even go there. But actually, there are two things. One, the employees that they serve are not getting an opportunity to get some more coverage that they may need, and of course, it leaves. It means more revenue even to the benefit advisor, which is left on the table because of a fear of failure, basically.
That makes sense. So what's happening is, let's say, a really high integrity advisor is like not approaching a client that maybe they could have because they're like, I don't want to overpromise and underdeliver on this. Like my reputation, my name, like that's more important. If I can't do what I'm going to say I'm going to do, then I'm not in. So some of the great advisors out there won't necessarily stretch because they don't want to overcommit. And then they're not even going to go after the business. And then, and then they possibly, some of the other ones already have, they're leaving money on the table, but in the sense of they're not offering something that possibly the employees want already. And so now that's a lose-lose situation in that case, in my opinion, right?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, one is that area. The other is the increased need for voluntary benefits and other supplemental insurance and programs which are there. Some of them may be a little out of the ordinary, out of the mainstream, insurance products, which requires a certain unique way in which you got to handle, enrollment, communication, billing, all of those things. And so that's all of that is really where we come in to technology enable a lot of these activities, make it work well, not to give it as a cookie cutter, just pure. We call that, if it's technology without the service that you take, then that's actually additional burden. I mean, we call it the tech only trap. And to provide that from a shared service team that we have, which knows these, how to solve these problems across multiple clients. That's really the benefit that that they get from outsourcing to a key trusted partner.
Let's circle back to my question on outsourcing. So, I'm not on outsourcing, open enrollment, and what that part of the year looks like for these benefits advisors and brokers. So, what kind of pressures are they facing?
Well, the pressures are really from just not having enough time to do everything that they need, need to do. Typically, in the small business sector, these successful advisors really have a very large number of clients. And so their effort gets spread thin over a large number of them. And another thing is, you really, in this industry, you cannot spread your effort over a period of time over the whole year, right? Because most of the renewals and anniversary really happens on January 1st. And then, you get into this, really a pressure cooker type of situation come third, early fourth quarter. And, you cannot balance your resources. You cannot plan your projects differently. I mean, you can't change the date of January 1. So that's a big problem. And that's really where looking at more automations without losing out that high touch support and service that is being provided to the employer comes in, as it's being very, very important. I think that's now, of course, we are almost winding down in that season right now, so most of us have just been through that.
Let's go further into Workforce Junction. So you mentioned a little bit. So you're working with benefits brokers, benefit advisors, and also small business owners. But let's go further. So tell us a little bit more about the company.
As I said, this company was formed from the technology and the team that we have created within a benefit advisory firm itself. So we are a company that has really a focus on technology and within the broader context of the benefits industry. And the way we approach, and Workforce Junction is we differentiate ourselves from other benefits technology firms, is that we are providing our service as a full service kind of an offering. So, for example, the benefits enrollment system goes by default with a call center support, where employees of our clients can call us and not either the HR team at the client side or the benefit advisor for help with their enrollment. And our call center is one of our, I would say, crown jewels of our service mix here. And probably the one area that gives us the most motivated, I would say, in this industry. Talking about having meaning in our work and the interactions with employees and helping them through the various challenges that they go through, navigating the system of insurance. I mean, taking calls from employees who may be at the emergency room or at a pharmacy. So we have our team that is accessible 24/7 through multi-channel, email, text, phone, all of that. That's a good example of another the whole value of outsourcing, because to create a contact center setup with this multi-channel service and support capability is not easy.
No.
But you can tap into that through a subscription-based model where costs can be variable based on the quantum of work or the size of employees that you're dealing with. That is really what scales and helps just reduce the stress and gives peace of mind during this time where, what if the advisors could go to their clients and say, this is what, we're going to roll out all these new products and new solutions. Don't worry about people coming to you and asking you, so much more questions, so much more, I'll have to do a lot more work. We've got this team where that all the calls go there. And, we become kind of just offering a peace of mind to everyone involved. That's really what it is.
So Mathew, why focus on small businesses? Like why have you chosen to really go after that segment?
Yeah, as I said, I worked for biggest of big businesses, global company, and when I got exposed to the small business, I just realized there's it's actually so much more fun. Think about it.
Yeah.
Bulk of the employees, workforce in America really work for these small businesses. Actually, more than 50% work for employers with 550 or less headcount. And this is the segment that created 2/3 of net new jobs in the first 2 decades of this millennium.
Wow.
And yet they are the ones who are underserved when it comes to employee benefits. To me, I just found that working in this segment is actually more fulfilling. There is more of an opportunity for greater connection. And even employees working in the small to mid-sized businesses have an opportunity to connect to the organization's purpose better. Relationships are more intimate, real, close-knit. We make friends with our clients and partners and all that. It's that's so both from a personal satisfaction for me as well as for all our team members, as well as really contributing to something that is significant. I mean, I think there is every employee within this ecosystem and the employers and who work with them have an opportunity to be more significant rather than being a small fish in a very large pond.
Yeah. So speaking of the employees and just the company overall, like how important is culture to Workforce Junction? Like, tell us a little bit more about the culture.
So here, we talked about scalability, right? One of the, I would say, typically people will talk about, okay, you scale by automating, bringing in technology, bringing in artificial intelligence and all that, all those things. All those, of course, very, very valid, very valuable. But I believe that you cannot do all of that and take the people out of the equation. You got to keep the people, and the role of technology is to empower people to do better work. And so that's what we're doing within our company. And so in addition to all this technology and everything, we're focused on how we can scale because of better teamwork.
Yeah.
If we work better as a team, not just within Workforce Junction, but also with our advisor partners and with the clients of those partners, there's very little that we cannot achieve. So, often the answer to how do we do this profitably, how do we do this in a scalable way, is really to look at how are we working well as a team. I talked about how we help people and we kind of bring meaning to our work and all that. So one of the things that we do very consciously is to celebrate these events, celebrate situations where we've been able to help, we've been able to make a difference. And even in those celebrations, we are ourselves a globally distributed workforce. We ourselves use the offshore and remote work kind of advantage. And so we use technology even in our celebrations and in our being able to come, share among each other and to enhance our team effort. So that's all of this really goes back to our first, the core value we have is relationships first. So we start relationships first, service second, and technology third. And that kind of is pervasive through the company. And I would say that is really our culture. To answer your question on, talking about culture within the company, it's not a separate, like having a chief culture officer kind of thing. That's our business. That is how we do our business. That is, the business model itself derives from what we enjoy doing ourselves.
Well, Mathew, I have to say, this has been great. Definitely am an advocate of the mission, creating these win-win scenarios and situations and outsourcing to really allow both the employees, the employers, and the benefit advisors and brokers and the small business owners. Like you're creating an ecosystem of really just winning relationships. So I think it's awesome. That being said, I mean, what's next? What's next for you? What's next for Workforce Junction?
Actually, you mentioned this yourself as you just said it. I mean, so it's just a natural progression. It's really, the key word is that ecosystem. However, before the next itself, the first challenge that we've got to get over is that many times when we talk about our mission being to help our small business and their owners to outcompete large business and work with our advisors to serve them profitably. The big challenge that we face is many of them, because of the experience that they've had, both past and current, with benefits and technology, they think that realization or to make that mission come true is actually too good to be true. So now there are a handful of advisors who already work with us and have realized that what we're saying is true, but we need to all collaborate together to make that happen. So that's the first challenge. And as we do that, and we get more, I would say, believers on board, and I'm sure it will inspire more advisors, right? And then as we go forward, we want to actually create an advisory group of not only advisors that we work with, but also our partners, because this whole partnership or the relationships first approach we take not only with our the benefit advisor partners who are our clients, but also with technology partners that we work with, and we integrate those into our solution, and we bring a seamless interface, seamless offering to our customers. So we want to create a group of like-minded people who have this kind of a alignment of mission to serve this segment, and collaborate with them in informing what is next for us as a company, and how we can help everyone, all the stakeholders in this group, become more successful. It's a big vision, but we believe that if, again, back to my belief, anything is possible with really good teamwork, I think we can make it happen.
It is a big vision, and love it. I mean, big vision, big mission to accomplish, creating a lot of great win-win scenarios there as you progress in this mission and vision. That being said, if somebody's watching this right now and they want to learn more about Workforce Junction, I mean, what's the best way for them to do that?
Yeah, it's easy. It's we are at workforcejunction.com/contact. There is a contact form where somebody just gives their name and email address and submit. We will get that. We'll reach out and set up an initial conversation to just get to know each other. As I keep saying, we're relationships first. Really. Let's have a conversation first, and then move forward from there. And if people are interested in being part of this group, even to form what next for us as a community, that would be great to collaborate.
Perfect. Fantastic. And we'll put that, and for the audience, we'll put that in the show notes, so that you can just go click on the show notes and go right over and check out Workforce Junction and connect with Mathew and his team. And by the way, if this is your first time viewer or listener and you haven't subscribed yet, Mission Matters is all about bringing on business owners, entrepreneurs, executives, experts, and really having them share why they do what they do, how they do what they do, the mission behind it, how they make a difference in the marketplace. So we got many more mission-based entrepreneurs, executives, and experts coming on. So we definitely want you to hit that subscribe button and be a return visitor here. And Mathew, really, it has been a pleasure. Thank you for coming on the show and sharing a little bit more about your mission. So thank you.
Thank you.